Hi guys, good morning. It is too early to be alive. Not really, it's like probably 9:30, close to 10. Hey everyone, it's me again. Welcome to Faith's Faces. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Faith Grenade and I put makeup videos here on YouTube. And you should subscribe. It's easy. It's just a matter of like hitting a button down there. I mean, why not, right? What you've stumbled into is Faith's Faces, which is usually a tutorial or a get ready with me, which that's what this one's gonna be. I'm kind of in a really low-key mood today, not looking to like do anything too complicated, so I figured I'd just check in with you guys because it's been a while. Hopefully I won't be too scatterbrained, but as a warning, that has been happening lately, so if I trail off a little bit or I seem kind of out of sorts, don't worry, it's just I'm super scatterbrained lately. I've been really forgetful, which is normal with the grieving process. For those of you who are unaware, my mom died 6 months ago after a 3-year-long battle with cancer. It was a really stressful time and it was a very tragic thing to happen to my family, so we're all just kind of reeling, and we're still reeling to a certain degree. I mean, you know, when you lose someone that close to you, it sort of becomes very like, oh shit, you know? It becomes a really rough thing that you have to kind of navigate. It's a completely, like, devastating experience, really. It changes fundamentally how you do things and how you see the world. And so I've been navigating that. I've been dealing with some depression, and that's something that I've dealt with for a while now, but it's kind of been magnified by my experiences. You know, losing my mom 6 months ago and then losing Faye, one of my ferrets, a few months after that. I think she died in February. So it was just like, lose my mom in October, lose my heart animal in February. It was just, it's been a rough few months for me. I've been navigating it, you know, doing the best I can, just with what I've got going on, whatever it happens to be that day. And it really depends, like it varies day to day. Some days I'm awesome and I can almost function as a normal human being. Other days I just can't with the world, and I recluse into my little hole and don't come out. And I'm privileged that I get to do that right through here, because I don't have a conventional job. I'm just setting my eye primer with a powder. I don't have a conventional job. I am not full-time employed. My husband is. And him being employed has really allowed me to sort of navigate this process in my own time. I haven't felt rushed at all. I've enrolled in esthetician school, so I'm going to be going to school soon. I'm starting to find my new normal, and I'll kind of talk about that a little bit here while I'm getting ready. So I think I'm going to use this. This is one of the new Viseart Theory palettes. This is Amethyst, and it is just calling to me today. It is super beautiful, lots of purpley plums, and I think I'm going to do just like a look with all the matte colors, because those are looking particularly gorgeous today. So I'm going to take this lightest one on this Wet n Wild crease brush, which I've been liking a lot lately. You're never going to be the same, and that's okay. You know, it's okay to not be okay all the time. It's okay, even 6 months later, to still, you know, have those moments of like, you know, something that sucks that I never thought would suck is Mother's Day advertisements, because Mother's Day is coming up here pretty soon, and people, you know, talking about Mother's Day and all the deals going on and people making like Mother's Day gift idea videos, and it's just like I'm being constantly confronted with the fact that my mother is dead. You know, it's just I haven't really felt much like celebrating holidays. Like Christmas was really low-key. Christmas was especially low-key because my mom passed in October, so we had literally like just lost her, and it was still all very raw and real. So Christmas I just spent a lot of time with my sister and my brother-in-law, down here, you know, I didn't travel anywhere. I didn't go see anybody really because we weren't up for that. I feel bad for my in-laws because, you know, God love them, they try, but it's just sort of like they are inviting me to things, or inviting my husband and I to things, and I want my husband to be able to see his family, definitely. Like, I'm not stopping him from going to see them, but a lot of the time he's busy with work and he can't take leave, or, you know, other things like that. And then for me, it's just like, I don't want to see anyone for any kind of holiday. Certainly not Mother's Day. Like, I'm probably not gonna do anything this Mother's Day. I'm just gonna be an old fuddy-duddy and stay at home and be sad. And that's okay. I'm allowed to do that. Another thing I've been having issues with lately that I mentioned earlier is memory problems. I've been having such bad short-term memory loss. It's really a problem now. And that'll happen every now and again, like it's a normal symptom of grief, but it's just, it got, like, there was a little bit of it, like, right when it happened, and in the couple months following that, but, you know, it went away after a while, and I thought, oh, well, you know, there you go, it went away, things should be okay now, but nope, it's come back with a vengeance. I can't keep track of anything, I've been losing stuff, I've been forgetting things, I've been, you know, just completely off track. Like, I have to carry a fucking notepad and pen with me everywhere I go, or I will forget, you know, things I said, things I heard. It's actually created a few arguments between my husband and I because, you know, I'll just tune out, like, randomly. I'll just shut off and I won't hear anything that's going on. You know, it's almost like I'm underwater, if that makes sense. It's like my ears will just stop working, and I'll tune out and I'll go to this happy place in my head and I just like zone, and then by the time I come back in, you know, maybe 5 or even 10, 15 minutes later, I have no idea what transpired while I was in that sort of fugue state. I will have had no idea what was said or what happened. The concerning part with that, you know, my husband's only real concern with it was that it happens while I'm driving sometimes, and he was worried that I was going to get into an accident or something. But, fortunately, no. Like, apparently, I can still keep my mind focused on the road, but I just can't keep my mind focused on much else. I figured y'all should know. Like, I know my videos have gotten a little bit more disjointed and a little bit more disorganized. Like, just my way of speaking, how I explain things to you guys. I'm having to, like, do a lot more work in editing because I've been so out of it, sometimes when I'm filming. And I can get out of it sometimes anyway. Even before my mom died, I would get really kind of out of it while I was filming because when you're doing something creative, you kind of fall into the other hemisphere of your brain, and, you know, the creative side, I believe it's the right hemisphere, and when you switch hemispheres like that, it can be harder to communicate because communication deals with the left hemisphere of your brain, which is the logic center, the communication center, the language center, I believe. When I swap hemispheres, it can sometimes, and this is the case with most people, when you swap hemispheres it can be difficult to communicate because you basically, your brain has turned off the language side of itself and turned on the creative side. So how have you guys been? I've been pretty good. I've been, you know, looking forward to starting esthetician school in August. For those of you who don't know, you know, if you want to be a professional makeup artist, the laws vary from state to state. So really, you know, the best thing to do is to look up your state's regulations and figure out what they say about what it takes to be a working makeup artist. In Maryland, where I live, you don't have to have a license to be a makeup artist, like when you're freelancing, but if you want to work in a salon environment, for example, or like at a spa or something, in any sort of official capacity, not that, you know, being freelance isn't official, but if you want to work in any kind of corporate capacity, and if you want to get like pro discounts with brands or anything else like that, then you have to have an esthetician's license. You learn a lot about skincare, you learn about waxing, and you learn about makeup, but in some states, estheticians do way more than that. Some states, estheticians do like laser treatments and tattoo removal, and they're trying to make that happen in Maryland, but Maryland's, you know, regulations about what estheticians can and can't do are pretty harsh. Because it's something that my mom would have wanted, you know? She would have wanted me to pursue my dreams and my goals relentlessly, because that was just how she was. I mean, I've bounced around to a lot of different career aspirations in my life, and this was the first time I'd ever felt really 110% sure about something. And so even when I was talking to my mom in the weeks leading up to her death, she was like, I was talking to her about makeup and how I'd gotten really good at it and how I was going to try to go to school for it. And she was like, yeah, do it. Go for it. Like, please, you know, this is something that you seem to be getting noticed for. This is something that you seem to be pretty good at. So, you know, if there's a way, you know, to turn that into a career, take advantage of it. Which is what I loved about my mom. Like, she was always super, super supportive of whatever crazy thing I wanted to do, be it burlesque, be it, you know, makeup, whatever. She always supported me. She was front row center at my first burlesque show, and, you know, considering that art form is pretty sort of scandalous, there were a lot of performers, and are a lot of performers, whose parents still don't know that they perform burlesque. And the fact, you know, I feel very blessed to be able to say that my mom knew that I did burlesque and supported me 110% in that art form, went to shows when she could, because obviously she wasn't one to stay out too late, you know. My mom was kind of an introvert, but the fact that she supported me as much as she did is rare, and it's something that I will never, ever take for granted. Justin has been just super supportive. He's been really kind of there for me when I need him, and he hasn't badgered me too much about getting a job. He hasn't really put any undue pressure on me, which is priceless. Because, you know, realistically, I know, like, I feel useless when I'm not working. Like, it's bad. You know, I want to have a job, but it just doesn't make sense right now, you know. Once I start school, it's basically full-time. It's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but you're in school for, you know, 8 hours a day. So it's pretty much full-time. I'm not gonna have time for a job. Another thing, I don't think I've actually told you guys this, but I actually got invited to teach a makeup workshop at BurlyCon, which is the largest burlesque and variety convention in the country. So that's really, really exciting for me. But it's gonna be like on a weekend while I'm in school, so it's gonna be tough to orchestrate. from that point of view. But I will do my best to keep everything absolutely the same. You know, I'm gonna try and, you know, keep my upload schedule as consistent as possible. Do you guys see that? I feel like this concealer emphasizes my texture a shitload, and as you can see, my blemish is still visible, even with 2 layers of Shape Tape, so I don't know what the story is about that. It always seems to look like pilly and dry, and it makes my whole face look dry, which is not the look I'm going for. I'm hoping putting on this much concealer is going to come in handy when I use this. This is the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation Stick. I enjoy this stuff a lot for how well it matches me, but damn it if it's got no coverage. At least the last time I used it, it had 0 coverage. Never fails, I always breathe in right when I put powder on my nose. And then I end up snorting it. Don't do that. It's not fun. I have my bronzer on hand, so I'll just do that first. This is the usual Lorac Tantalizer Baked Bronzer in matte tan. I adore this stuff. And I'm not gonna do too heavy, just enough to bring a little bit of life into the skin. Because lately I've noticed in my Instagram photos I'm going a little bit ham on the bronzer, which I normally don't have a problem with, but like it's kind of making my face not match my neck anymore. Game Show Network, I'm fucking addicted. Everyone else watches like Game of Thrones and Orange is the New Black and 13 Reasons Why, although I heard people really don't like that show for some reason. I never saw it, probably never will. I'm more of a non-fiction TV fan myself. But I'm about Game Show Network and Cooking Channel. Those are my favorite shows to watch, or channels to watch. I will just turn on Game Show Network and I will leave it on all day long. Because I like things that challenge me, you know? And when there's like trivia game shows on, my husband and I like answer the questions and stuff, and it actually becomes a real bonding moment for us. I see a cat. My cat Skittles, you guys have met her before. She's indoor-outdoor, and I let her out every morning to run around, and that's what she's doing right now. And I see her out my window. She's being a cute little kitty, running around. She'll probably be ready to go inside soon, actually. Things I'm looking forward to. I've made it a point to kind of remind myself every day of the things I have to look forward to, because sometimes when you're, you know, in depression, or when you have depression and you're in a depressive state and you're kind of like, ugh, nothing's worth it, you need a reminder that you have a reason to wake up in the morning. For me, I have a client today, which I am simultaneously looking forward to and fucking terrified. Because, you know, when you don't have client work for a while and you get back into it, you can be a little out of practice, and that can show. I mean, I've been doing makeup on myself, but I've done makeup on myself for years. So, contour my jawline a little bit. Whoa, that was a lot. Okay. Blending that out. It's like a one-on-one makeup lesson, and she's going to the Steampunk World's Fair, which is super exciting, and she wants me to help her design a look for it. And a lot of people are really kind of hesitant to share their techniques with the world, and I don't understand why. It's like, knowledge is a gift, you know? You shouldn't look at knowledge as like a trade secret that you never tell anyone, you know? Knowledge is meant to be shared with people. Even if you happen to charge for sharing it, there's nothing wrong with that either. And even if, you know, the person who I do a one-on-one lesson with never books me again, you know, that's not the kind of person who would probably book me in the first place. And even with one-on-one makeup lessons, there will still be things that that person doesn't know. You know, I can't give someone the entire wealth of my knowledge in one 3-hour session. So either they'll come back to learn more, or they won't. But either way, they'll walk away knowing more than they did when they came in. And that's rewarding for me. Reaching into my kit, and we are going to set the face with some setting spray. Oh, jeez. I got my tetanus booster the other day, and my arm is still sore from it. So anytime I use my arm muscles, I'm like, ow! Wouldn't be a Faith Grenade video if we didn't fan ourselves. Because I got Jeffree Star's new collab with Manny MUA. Not all of it, I just got the lipsticks. And Daddy looks really good too. I've been wanting to use this. It's a little bit warm for what I'm going for. I don't know. At the same time, it's also new. So it's like, do I go monochromatic or do I go more traditional? I think I'll go more traditional to start. I can always take it off and put something different on. So I'm going to grab my disposable doe's feet and I'm going to put on Jeffree Star / Manny MUA collab in the shade Daddy, and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, here it is. Here is the finished look with Daddy from the Jeffree Star Manny MUA collection. Gotta say, Manny MUA I kind of go back and forth on. Like, I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of his. His personality seems, like, he seems fun and he seems, you know, pretty genuine, but he's the kind of person I can only really take in small doses, especially right through here. So I sort of, you know, I could take or leave the actual collaboration part of this and like who's collaborating. But again, as I have always said to you guys, at the end of the day, it's about the product. And Jeffree Star's Velour Liquid Lipsticks are still my absolute favorite out of any I have ever tried. They are fantastic, super pigmented, super long wearing. Yeah, best ever. I'm just touching up my brows. Don't mind me. I hope you guys found this video helpful, informative, or entertaining. I hope you enjoyed getting ready with me. If you did, there is a button for that. Spank that like button in the butt, you know it deserves it. And if you want to see more from me, got a couple options now. You can watch the videos on either side of my head to binge if you're bored or bummed out, or hey, you can hit that button that looks like my face and subscribe and become a member of the faithful today. I put out new videos every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining me today. Thank you for listening to my rambling, and I will see you in the next video. Toodles!